Hey, Shalom. I want to say all praises and honor and glory. Kal Halalyam, La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakodash. Double honors unto the apostles of GMS, who do well, whom I learn this truth from. Salutations unto you brothers and you sisters that do take heed and sincerity in the truth. Coming back once again through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachakodash. After camp, driving home, there's a lot of good points that were hit on the highways. I just want to maybe add on top of it. One good point I enjoyed a lot was the point of repetition in this truth, in this thing of ours, like the Apostle Gabar was mentioned. You shouldn't be a man that gets bored of repetition. One thing I always remember Apostle Gabar used to say, mention the word Deuteronomy. It means repetition. Or two, the second. That's where you get the word deuces from, right? In the scriptures, there's a lot of repetition. When you read the book of Genesis, the 5 books that are known as the 5 books of Moses, because they're written by Moses on Mount Sinai for the 40 days. You read Genesis, which is a lot of history, as well as prophecy. You read Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. When you read Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, a lot of the laws overlap each other, man. And it's for a reason. It's to get it through our thick skulls, man, to keep repeating. Like when the priest Esdras, he's a Levite, Esdras, it said he stood on a podium, right? And he recited the law to the people. Now, can you imagine the whole law, him reciting it? There's a lot of laws that are repeated time after time after time again. They may be worded a little bit differently, but it's the same thing. And to a person that's just undisciplined and has itching ears, which a lot of our people do, they're stiff-necked according to the scriptures, they will not get it. They will get bored. And that's to their own downfall. But hopping on the point of repetition, man, it's very important to read the scriptures, to apply them, and to reapply them and over-apply them over and over again. All right, to the point where you sound like a parrot, but not really, not so, because you're not just reciting with no substance. You have the substance, but you keep reciting. A key point or example of that is in boxing. I was thinking about it the other day. I was training with a brother, with one of my dear brothers, the Mayim. I'm thinking, damn, man, how much does a boxer, from the time, let's say a boxer starts a good age, man, when they're young, 7, 8, 9 years old. It's a very good age to start. You can even start earlier, but that's an ideal age, man. If you're like 8, 9 years old, man. Like there's a fighter fighting tonight called Devin Haney, and he was, I believe, 9, and he was around Mayweather, Zab Judah, Shane Mosley, all these top guys, man, just soaking in everything. And he's the youngest lightweight champion right now. He was 20 years old when he got the belt, so he's the perfect prospect. He's a very dangerous guy. But I'm just thinking, man, how much from that time till the time they're in their early to mid 20s. How many repetitions of just the 1-2 jab cross do they do? Do you ever see Mayweather say, man, you know what, I mastered the jab, I mastered the 1-2, I don't need to do that shit anymore? There's a video, I like to watch the videos of him training on 24/7 All Access, and he's hitting the heavy bag, and his trainer's like, when he finished hitting the heavy bag, he said that boy hit the heavy bag for 45 minutes straight. Something wrong with that boy. But he's training his neuromuscular system, his nervous system, to the point where he's not thinking. It's just the impulse. It's just the electrical signal, and the brain understands right away. It's called the intramuscular system, right? Does he get tired of it, man? A lot of times, type in Mayweather hitting the heavy bag. And a lot of times you'll just see him go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Over and over again. And he's a master. You know? He's a man that embedded the goddamn DNA of boxing into his DNA. Ain't nobody do it better than him, man. You know? Yes, you had great aggressive fighters. Yes, you had highlight real knockout fighters. Yes, you had amazing defensive fighters. He was the guy that, you know, not to get into the whole boxing shit, because to be honest, mother F boxing, you know, it's all vain, but it does correlate with the scriptures. But he's a guy that was aggressive in his early career. He knocked a lot of guys out. And he hurt his hand a lot, so he said, look, man, I can't keep doing this shit. And especially my later heroes used to say, boxing is a wear and tear on the body. So the more smarter you are, the less you get hit, the longer you last. So later on, he incorporated more defensive, more thinking. And basically, he'll figure out the first 3-4 rounds, and he'll make those adjustments. And he can make adjustments in the mid-fight, which is really crazy, because a lot of guys just lose their game plan and just start boxing like a fight. But he's smart, man. So I'm thinking, damn, man, how many 1-2s does a motherfucker throw? Just in general. I'm hitting the 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. How many 1-2s have I thrown? I'm not even an amateur boxer, you know? And these guys are pro boxers. They don't say, you know, I mastered the hook. I don't need to really do that shit anymore. I'll do it when I want. No, man. They do it over and over again. So in this truth, you gotta always filter things through the scriptures, man. Whatever position you are in your life, you must filter it through the scriptures, because that's how it is, man. That's how you get medicine and health in your life, is following, abiding in the scriptures. Any situation your woman brings you, hey, you want to go here? This, oh, can I? You gotta say in your mind, primarily, man, impulse. Is it lawful? Am I even a little bit going off? Is it even expedient? Or another word is profitable for me? Will this even lead me to, never mind going off, breaking the law specifically, but will it maybe kind of derail me from my focus in this truth? You gotta be on point, man. You gotta be on point like a sword. You know, you gotta really, really think about these things, man, because they all matter at the end of the day. They all matter, man. You know, they all matter. There's a lot of guys that come in this thing and they see flash and pizzazz and brothers that had experience in this word, and they think they can, you know, jump the gun from the beginning without paying their dues, without experiencing loss. You got to experience true loss in this word. You got to experience hurt. You got to experience anguish and pain and persecution and tribulation before you can really tell the next man, hey, this is how you go. This is how you move about in this scenario. Not fantasy, you know? Like, again, I'll use boxing again. Mayweather, the perfect example of that is one of his underlings, which kind of followed him, which he was good for a little while, but he was cocky as hell, Adrian Broner. Now, say what you will about Mayweather's personality, all that shit that he showed, the money, the shit talk, the pride, for a man that really understands boxing, you understand that was just a mental tactic, because at the end of the day, he pays his dues. All right, he pays his dues. He goes to the gym. He gets sweaty. He gasses out. He gets sore as hell. He works his mind tirelessly, right? But this dude, Adrian Broner, he took that shit. Oh, I can, you know, I won 3-4 belts. You know, I can be like Mayweather now. And this dude undermined one opponent, this Naftalite from Argentina, Maidana. He got his ass knocked down in the first round. And after that fight, he lost the fight. He didn't get knocked out, but he got knocked down in the first round, and he lost on points. After that fight, that dude wasn't the same, man. He a different motherfucker, man. And even Mayweather said, because Mayweather fought that dude after, and it was a tough fight for Mayweather. Mayweather, it was so tough that they actually had a rematch, but he whooped his ass in the second fight, undoubtedly. But even Mayweather said, listen, man, I don't know what you're doing, big bro. You know, he said, but I'm in the gym working. And that dude, Broner, he was in the club, man, popping bottles and shit when he should have been training. Point being, or point you should take from this is, look, don't look at a next man and say, yo, look how easy this guy makes it seem. And the point is how it's made to be seen. And we're not trying to project any image to younger brothers. We're just doing it how we're doing it. And we got our own personality. Some brothers might be more aggressive, as the scripture says. Some men are more forward. Some men are nonchalant, chill. They look like there's not a care in the world, but they might be going through anguish in their soul. They might be tormented, but they got so damn good, man. You ever sparred and you get hit with a nice fucking right or whatever punch, man, to the body, and it just knocks the soul out of you. But you got that poker face on, man. And you show that motherfucker you didn't do shit to me. But inside, man, you goddamn, I can't get hit like that again. Well, guess what? In this word, you learn not to show, in the world, what did they say? Wear your heart on your sleeve, something to that effect. You know, some saying like that. Some dudes are emotional as hell, and they just wild out. But as you grow in this truth, you learn, like the brother Elder Howard, he always says, roll with them punches, man. You learn to roll with the punches. You learn to not show you're afraid or you're going through hell. And really, we learn to take it cheerfully. To be honest, motherfuck this place, fuck my rent, fuck all this shit. Because in the scriptures that says you should be ready to lose everything in the moment. And Paul said that in the book of Philippians, I believe, chapter 3. He said, yea, I count all things but dung for the glory of Yahushua. I'm roughly paraphrasing it. Okay? So yes, these things matter. You might, you have a kid, you have a wife. They matter. It is matter. We are matter. According to Job, right? In the book of Job, it says we are matter. Man is matter. Roughly paraphrasing. But in the totality of things, it don't matter. This shit don't matter. It really don't matter. Because we have much higher things to look forward to, right? We have much greater things to look forward to. You understand? So repetition is key, and constantly meditating, man. You got a favorite scripture? Get more favorite scriptures, man. And meditate on those scriptures. And then when you see something in the world, you see some shit in the world and you say, oh man, that's that scripture, or this is that. Oh, that's the spirit, man. The Most High is humor, man. Hey, man, I got some of my best laughs in my life on the highways. Because the Most High will bring a spiritual joker up or a spiritual scenario. And you're like, man, only me and the brothers can see this shit for what it is. And people are looking at it shocked. Oh my God, what is going on? And we're just laughing. We're having a ball. And Barakateh Yahweh, Barakateh Yoshua, we can understand these things. You got brothers here in Toronto. I'm not sure what they call themselves. I know they're not Sakari, but they have a similar doctrine. But one of the brothers told me they I don't believe they observe the moon Sabbath, the new moon Sabbath. They go by Friday to Saturday. Like Apostle Star says, man, not every man can get everything. And there's different lots. But the brothers came out today. They came out a few weeks before, and they come out certain weeks, but today they came out and they were listening and they were bringing out precepts, and that was beautiful, man. There was nothing wrong with that. We're not cursing anybody out. They got the 12 tribes signed with them. They got the Caesar Borgia signed with them. They're pushing that word. We might differentiate between here and there, and that's fine, because at the end of the day, some of the men might be of the elect. Who are we? Right? Did not Yahushua say, if they preach in my name, leave them alone? Because the apostles, they seen men, they said, Lord, these men they ain't with us. They ain't part of our unit. And the Lord said, leave them alone, man. If they come in my name, because they have Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua prophesying as well through that name, then guess what? We can't curse them out, man. And Lord's will, I pray for those brothers that their eyes be open, that they see the new moon. Because that, according to the scriptures, that is the right way to observe the Sabbath. But at the end of the day, they are still observing the Sabbath. as a holy day, you know? But hence comes the problem with other people getting mad and saying, oh, GMS says they got 100% truth, and they curse out anybody that doesn't keep the new moon, and they think the new moon is a Sabbath. Well, here's your problem. That's your problem. We're letting you know that that's the fact, and we can prove it through the scriptures. You want to debate us? We'll go into the scriptures and we'll prove it. We'll pull it out, man. You understand? We'll pull it out, and we're just going according to the scriptures. There's no it's not our own vain jangling. It's not our own philosophy. You know, we're just going according to sound doctrine, what we have learned through our apostles and what we have tested. Does not the scripture says in 1 John 4:1, try the spirits whether they be of the Most High? So we take these things. The apostles say, look, man, we're telling you the Sabbath is according to the new moon. There's 4 cycles to the moon. There's 4 weeks in a month. The word month comes from the word moon. Look it up. You don't believe us? Look it up. And you're not supposed to believe us on the front page anyway. You're supposed to look it up. Try it. Test it. Prove it. Here are the scriptures, man. Isaiah, right now I'm just forgetting the chapter, but it's in the book Isaiah. There's a scripture in the book of Samuel's. Read Genesis 1 about the Most High made the 2 lights to differentiate certain days and seasons and holidays, right? Does it not say that? A lot of guys take it for, these guys are proud, man. They think they got it. Well, guess what? Someone has to have it, man. You know? And the apostles happen to be the men the Lord gave it to. And you guys are just mad because of fleshly, carnal ass reasons. Bitch ass niggas, basically. You know? I'm not gonna rant on, man, but it was a beautiful point about the repetition. You know, I hope brothers got something from this lesson. But like the Apostle Kabar says, always quotes it, and I'm not sure who the quote is from, but the quote goes, repetition is the father of skill. Okay? Repetition is the father of skill. Skill, what does the word skill mean? It means to divide, literally to divide. In what sense? In the sense that a man that has a skill in boxing, he is divided from a man that does not have the skill of boxing. So a man, hey, perfect example. Tonight there's a fight, like I said, Devin Haney. But this dude, this is a championship fight. But do you know that it's not the main card? The main card is 2 bitch-ass YouTubers. YouTube stars that have 20 million subscribers that just started boxing 1 year ago, 2 years ago, let's say, and they're headlining a card. Do you think one of those guys can fight the champion under them? They're only headlining the card because of hype, basically. Generation of money and promotion. No, they cannot, because that man is skilled. He's in a division. He's in a different division than those clowns that ain't boxing, that ain't been boxing as long as them. A man that practiced swordsmanship, he's divided from the rest of man that does not practice swordsmanship. And a man that comes into swordsmanship, he think he can do it. He will clearly be schooled, and he will clearly have his first great lesson as to why that man is so great at wielding that sword, because he had been doing it by repetition and time again. A master is a man. The difference between a master and a novice is the master has failed more times than the student. A sensei, a sifu, whatever you want to call it. You understand? He had dropped his weapon more times than the novice. The novice has yet many more times to drop it and to fail before he gets it. You understand now? A man that's in this truth I was going to say master, but we cannot call ourselves master according to what Yahushua said. So we can say elder or bishop or senior, right? That man is those titles. Why? Because he had been tried. He has failed. He has cried, man. He has bled. He has been homeless. He has lost things in this truth, but kept his integrity and faith more times than the novice who thinks he got it. You understand what I'm saying now? Right? So with that, I want to say Kal Halalim, Allah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Rakhakudash, for giving me the breath of life to bring this lesson out. I want to say all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahawashi, Bahashim Rakhakudash, Barakatham, 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 Thamyad. Double honors unto my apostles, GMS, the apostles of Great Millstone, the great men who rule well, whom I have learned this truth from, and salutations unto you brothers and few sisters that do take heed. I want to say Kwame Sharala, Abadyam, Babal. Until next time, Lord's will, I say Shalom.